Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. This is Debbie, and I am just showing you all of the food that we have been harvesting. This box keeps changing. There are more zucchini and yellow straight neck squash that are coming in. The vines are surprising me, even though that they are dying back quite a bit. They are still producing, and we got an eggplant and several new tomatoes. We've got one of our big tomatoes started getting ripe. And then we got about 2 gallons of green beans today. This is out of the Contender bush beans that we planted a second planting of, and we're ready before 40 days. So we went ahead and picked some of those today, and that plus the Kentucky Wonder pole beans and rattlesnake pole beans from around the corn came together to about 2 gallons of green beans. And then we also picked another basket of tomatillos. And that's not all. We also cut an entire box full of parsley. So we have a ton of parsley here just waiting to dry up. We also shelled our corn. So now we're just letting it finish dry in the box so you can see how much corn seed that we have. I'll be splitting that up and putting it on Etsy most likely and giving it out to neighbors and things like that. And we have more hibiscus flowers that we're drying right now. I've already went through several batches of hibiscus flowers and just getting all of our things together, bagging them up, all kinds of stuff. So we've got all of that going on in the garden. We have bagged up a lot of our dried herbs, so you can see all of that here. It kind of becomes a mess in the dining room because we are using the dining room area as a place to fill the bags, get those all set up. We also cut some of our zinnias, and I've got those drying in a container, as well as some cosmos seeds that we collected, and some bee balm, and snapdragon seeds as well. I was trying to think what was our other seeds that we had collected. Now, I have not dried and collected a whole lot of seeds before. Sunflower seeds, of course, but not really a whole lot of other seeds from flowers. So this is going to be not really a first. We've done that before, just not in a long, long time. So we've got some of that. And I also am starting to collect some lettuce seeds. And it's kind of interesting how they are transpiring, basically. They have a little bit of fuzz on them that we have to get off. But we are just going through and collecting a whole lot of seeds, doing a lot of harvesting, and I'm going to be doing some pickles today as well as more apples. And we just have so much stuff going on that sometimes it is hard to get a video out because we have so many things going on in the garden right now. We've also cleaned up the garden a little bit. Let's go take a look at that. If you notice, we have a very large brassica that we have pulled out of here, and I think what happened with that brassica was that it was supposed to have been broccoli, and I think somewhere along the way it got confused if it was broccoli or if it was Brussels sprouts, because Brussels sprouts actually started showing up on the stalk, or the seed was just mixed up in the packet that I purchased. So I only ended up with one of those that was like that. But it started turning into Brussels sprouts, and we didn't really have the room for that type of Brussels sprout, and I hadn't really expected that. So I went ahead and just took it out. So some of the recent seeds that we had planted, like the lettuces and the radishes and things like that, are starting to come up. You see little bits of green in there. That is the lettuces that are coming up. And we've got some more lettuces going to seed over here. And I'm going to go ahead and take that out and replant some more seed. I'm not going to save any more lettuce seed this season. This was just a first rough draft on it, basically. We've also got some more Contender beans out here. This was a third planting of Contender beans that I put in here. And they are blooming now and just about ready to produce. They've got little tiny beans on them. So we'll be looking forward to that. Now, we're supposed to get some cooler temperatures, but not by a whole lot. There's going to be a couple of days where it's going to be in the 50s with lows in the 40s, but it's not supposed to get to freezing. It might. If it does, it'll kill those beans. But if it doesn't, then we will likely have some more beans. within the next week that we can go ahead and harvest from these. And you can tell that we are really starting to clean out the garden now of different things. We'll most likely be going ahead and planting some more cabbage seeds in there to replace what we've harvested, because we did pull a cabbage out of there, got that harvested, and we got that brassica, and here it is, that was trying to think that it was a Brussels sprout. So we got that pulled out of there. So we've got a little bit more room in there that we can go ahead and replant some more cabbages. We also managed to pull some beans from the area near the fence. There wasn't a whole lot because some of them have died back, but we do have a lot more that are producing in here. So you can see that we've got them climbing the fence. There are more beans coming on. We harvested some rhubarb yesterday, and we had someone come and work on our cable internet, and we went ahead and gave him a basket of rhubarb. He said he really liked strawberry rhubarb cobbler, so he had been looking for rhubarb, couldn't find any in the stores, so we provided him with some rhubarb. And we are getting ready to start harvesting on these peppers. So we've got a lot of peppers in there that are just so big that they're pulling down the vines, and we still have other peppers that are still on there, and we're going to let these go until the very last moment. So there's going to be a whole lot more peppers coming out of here. We also have some beets that are planted down between each of the pepper plants that we need to check on and see if they are actually coming to head, which they should be about now. And I am seeing some beet leaves in there, so we just need to check on those. And then we've got some more harvesting to do. We've got lots and lots of stuff going on right now around our urban garden, if you want to call it that. To us, it's our homestead. Might not be as big, and we may not have a huge amount of animals, but for us, we try to be as sustainable as we can. And we've got some huge tomatoes coming on these vines, and they are still producing. As long as it's going to be warm temperatures, we're going to leave these guys going, the ones that are still healthy, because they're still blooming and they're still producing. So the more tomatoes we can get out of them, the better. And then, of course, we are letting some of our things go to seed, like our half-runner beans, and they are coming along quite nicely in there. What are you... Sorry about that. I had to pause the video for just a moment because my grandson was doing something weird. So anyway, lots more tomatoes still coming on, even though the vines are starting to look rough now. Blooming still, producing still, and we're still getting stuff off of them. And we're still getting cucumbers like crazy, even though they're getting a little misshapen now because it's the end of the season. We're about ready to dig some potatoes. I'm not watering these anymore. We're just going to let them go ahead and die back. So got a little bit of a tip off someone to go ahead and just halt on the watering them and let them go ahead and finish on out. So we're going to see if that happens. I did check on the potatoes, and we have some enormous potatoes in there. Let me see if I can uncover one, and I'll show you. I didn't take it out yet, so it's still attached to the vine. And we do have a little bit of some sunburn on them, but we will cut that part out and still use them. So you can see these are some huge potatoes, and lots of them. So we'll go ahead and cover those back up. But we have loads of potatoes in here, really big potatoes that I have checked on. So we are looking forward to that. And our Tahitian squash are turning color now, starting to look more like butternut, so they are definitely finishing on out as well. I can't stay out here on video very long because it is a warm day today. We're 86 today, and you can tell it's hot. So anyway, so as you can see, our Tahitian squash back there is starting to get the color of a butternut now, and that guy is huge. So not sure what pounds it'll go to, but they can get to 30 pounds or more. But most of them are usually between 8 and 12 pounds. And like I said, we've still got more cucumbers coming on. You can see them down in there. and loads of other produce. So we still have cantaloupes. These cantaloupes are still getting bigger. So they're not super huge right now, but they're still getting bigger, and as we will leave them as long as the temperatures will hold out. And again, like I said, we've had a Crenshaw in here. So there's a nice big Crenshaw, and it is starting to get a little fleck of colors on it. So hopefully we'll get that guy finished on out. And loads more going on in here. So anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out, and tips and tricks and little things, a viewing of the garden and what you can do in an urban setting. And we will look forward to seeing you in the next one.